This is TNA, the new face of professional wrestling.
I did the thing. Are you? Welcome to Welcome to Feast or Fired. I'm back with my wife.
I'm not sure what you're laughing about.
Are you here?
I should be. I'm plugged in.
Okay. You weren't saying anything. So.
Well, yeah, because you started off very awkwardly.
Oh, sure.
Yes, that was you, not me.
You want to get into the show?
I mean, it would be weird if we didn't after starting.
I've come to realize I only have 3 pages of notes. I don't even have 3 full pages of notes. What happened in this show?
Apparently not a lot.
It felt like a lot by the time we were done with it.
That's
All
why
right.
we're so annoyed with shit.
The matches were fine. For the most part. Alright, recap all the bullshit from the world title match last week. Blah, 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 blah. Moving on. Basically, all the back and forth and interferences, and ended up with Jarrett beating Styles. Right?
I believe.
Alright, and then we jumped right into match number 1, which is a championship match for the X Division Championship. Kid Cash versus Jason Cross, coming back from an injury, apparently. I don't know what injury it was. I don't remember hearing what it was. But he was injured, I guess, and he was gone and is back now, and yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't even know that he was gone.
I say the belt is already looking worse for wear. There's peeling paint on the big red X on the front of it. I wish they'd touch that up or something. I don't know if you've noticed that.
I'm not gonna lie, I did not.
Yeah, it looks cheap when you see like paint peeling off of it.
Yeah, it does look.
Especially when it's only been around for like 6 months at this point, 7 months, 8 months.
That's super.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Though, funny enough, at one point the belt that WWE used for their main title belt had like a corner chipped off. Or like a tip chipped off, like one of the eel's wings or something, and that was the one they used on television consistently. So I don't know. I also don't know if those plates are actually made of metal or what. So, all right. I say, people during the introductions, people are booing Cross. Cash is. I thought Cash was a heel here, but I guess I was wrong. But maybe people are just cheering Trinity because she's still paired with Kid Cash.
Could be a very much possible situation there.
Next note is, do I even have to describe how this match starts? Because it starts like almost every other X Division match does. A very, very quick back and forth, like, counter move shit that they do. That leads to that stalemate standoff thing. Basically, like trading holds, trading moves. You know how it works. Only like notable moments. This is like outside of the ring, they play catch for the chair before Cash nails him with the second attempt at the Smash Mouth, which is what it's called when he throws the chair in their faces.
Oh.
I like how that's just a regular thing in matches for him, even though technically that should be a disqualification in most matches. You know?
Yeah, but you can't disqualify, apparently.
I don't know why he's allowed to get away with it, but whatever.
I'll tell you why, honey.
What?
You're not gonna like my answer. You promise not to get mad at it?
No one cares?
I was gonna say magic, but yeah, no one cares either, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah, see, stop trying to just assume my answer.
All right. Finish comes when Cross misses his finisher, the Crossfire, which is a shooting star leg drop across from the top rope. Cash responds by getting up, hitting a Hurricanrana, and then a Tornado DDT for a 3 count. Overall, nothing too special in this match, but it was decent.
Not gonna lie, I was not paying attention a lot.
I'll be honest, I was real low energy watching this show, so like taking notes was like hard.
Yeah, but that's
We also had a lot of X Division stuff, which is just really hard to keep up with in notes anyways.
true.
Which may be why this one's so short. Anyway, we go to Goldilocks, and she finds Jarrett in the back. She asks about Russo, and he says nothing. And
He like gets mad at her.
the first time, he just walks by.
Oh, does he?
Yes. And to give a little bit of backstory, end of last week, Vince Russo, at the end of the show, said to Jarrett that he was going to go into he's going into his house and is going to wait for him to come, and they're going to have a talk.
Yeah. So the joke was, well, Jeff Jarrett's family is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, moving on. Russo comes to the ring wearing one of Dustin Rhodes' old jackets. Dusty Rhodes' older son, was better known as Goldust. Anyways, this whole thing's trying to sell that Russo got through to Jarrett and they are on the same page now. He announces they'll be signing a contract to officially bring Jarrett into Sports Entertainment Extreme tonight. He also puts out an invitation for anyone else who wants to hop on board to come join. Styles shows up. Styles is saying if he can get the same success as Jarrett, he is willing to join Sports Entertainment Extreme. Now Raven is out there. Now it's just a pissing contest between Raven and Styles, and it's setting up a Styles versus Sandman match for some reason. And I'm like, this should still end up being the triple threat match I was expecting it to become. Then Raven is offering to take on an X Division wrestler.
Just anyone.
Yeah. He's letting Styles pick the person, though. Then America's Most Wanted arrives. They're in line to get a shot at the tag titles against Triple X, which is the tag team subgroup of Sports Entertainment Extreme, who currently hold the titles.
I thought it. Come again. I don't know.
No, remember what happened was like a few weeks back, we had a match that went to basically like a no contest, and so they held the titles up. Then we had a 4-team elimination tournament that brought it down to these two. AMW won. So now they have a title shot, but Triple X is not there. So they want their titles. They want their title match. They don't want to wait. But since they're not there, they decide to go after Styles and fight them. Which they get intercepted by the Hot Shots, who are also wearing the SEX shirts, which means the Hot Shots are now part of Sports Entertainment Extreme.
Yeah, it's just a big cluster.
True. This is just how this has been going. Just add more people until something works.
I realize that's how life works.
Goldilocks is with Vader and Dusty. Dusty rambles. Looked like Vader tried to get in a word and couldn't with how long Dusty kept just rambling.
Yeah, I think I zoned out during this entire part.
I will be honest with you.
I
stopped caring about what Dusty Rhodes says because it doesn't usually lead to much.
That, and he really likes the fucking midget.
He never mentioned it in this.
Oh, he didn't? Okay. I told you, I zoned out,
It mostly was just kind of rehashing everything that's been said before, so it's like nothing new. It's just a long-winded thing. And it just left Vader just enough time to like throw out his catchphrase.
I don't know.
It's Vader time.
That sounds the same.
It was more threatening back then in the 80s, 90s.
This is 2000s.
I know, but it, that's the legacy of it carries the weight.
All right. Still sounds super duper lame.
It wouldn't be super duper lame if you had that experience with him.
All right. I'm sorry.
I just realized that those fucking wrestling toys I used to have, one of them was Vader.
that you just.
Well, there were 6 guys, and I was trying to remember who they all were. One of them was Vader. One of them was Bret Hart. One of them was Shawn Michaels. One of them was The Undertaker. And then there were 2 others. And I don't remember who those 2 others were.
Obviously not important.
They were recognizable names. It might have been like Jim Neidhart or Owen Hart and someone else, maybe Diesel.
What? What, Cassers?
Ignore her. I don't care. Match number 2, Simon Diamond and Johnny Swinger versus the New Church. There's nothing wrong with this match. I just struggle with taking Slash seriously, so getting invested in a match with him is a bit of a struggle. It just sucks hard for me, you know?
I like my nickname.
I also found out that he was also one of the members of the Nation of Domination at one point. I can't remember what his name was. Give me 1 second. Wolfie D. He was Wolfie D of Nation of Domination. This guy's always been kind of like a comedy geek. I don't know what to say. There's a few botches in this match, though. There's the point in time where Brian Lee rushes over to break up a double team, and it seems like no one knew he was coming, so nothing happens other than the ref kind of just points him back to the other side of the ring. They do, once again, because we've not seen enough of this, that spot where the ref doesn't allow a tag because he doesn't see it to the, I guess, faces. So it keeps Brian Lee out of the match.
All I know is that is getting super tiring, and like.
Slash does manage to kick out of a chair shot from Swinger. That was interesting. Normally that ends a match, especially in this low on the card. When the finish comes, a distraction from James Mitchell lets Lee interrupt the others doing a double team with the spike the spike weapon that they have, and then Slash hits his neck breaker and wins. By the way, technically, because of that one spot where he didn't get the tag, Brian Lee was never in this match legally. It was Slash 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Which makes it even sillier because he's such a silly character.
Yes.
I can't take him seriously.
You really can't.
All right, go back to Goldilocks again. I feel like I say that 50 times every week.
You do say it.
Re-record. She finally sits down with Jarrett. Jeff defends Russo and reveals he's wearing an SEX shirt. Fine. I guess Russo was telling the truth, at least according to everything we've seen so far. Match number 3, Hot Shots versus AMW. I guess this was thrown out together on the fly, which means they did not have a full card plan for tonight. AMW is in control to start. Chris Harris then takes things get turned around. Chris Harris is actually turned this week to be the babyface. Pardon me, babyface in peril during the match. Usually that's James Storm, but it's nice to see that they both can do it, and they both can also do the
rescuing.
It's called a hot tag.
Why can't you just? Okay, it's rescuing. They're being princesses in disguise.
Okay, but we're just going to use the term that's used for wrestling.
You know I'm not.
It's a hot tag.
It's a princess tag.
Though it was a very, very, very short burst from Storm. He basically gets off a couple moves, gets a near fall, and things kind of get messy again. Notice the ref keeps forgetting who the legal man is in this one, counting pins on just anyone, basically.
Oh my god, this ref is so stupid. I was so annoyed with him.
I know, it sucks.
I hate him.
Glenn Gilberti / Disco Inferno, same person. And Mike Sanders try to interfere, but this fails to put A&W away. Finally, Storm hits his finisher for the win, the 8-second ride. That's what it's called.
Yeah, so.
I'd say it's kind of a mess of the finish. It's a bit of a chaotic match, but overall was fine. I think a lot of the problem is that I feel like the roster is kind of contracted right now. So we've seen a lot of these matchups lately before, and ones that are new aren't really exciting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, we get 2 new people tonight in various matches, so I guess maybe I'm being unfair, but
I don't think so.
Whatever. We go to the back again with Goldie with Sonny Siaki. He's just basically selling the whole he's in charge while Russo does things again, and I think this thing with Siaki being in charge is just him BSing, because all he ever seems to do is state the obvious when he does this.
True.
He tries to give orders to people, but it always just boils down to do the thing you should be doing anyways.
I told you, he is not good on the microphone.
You wonder why his career never really took off.
No, I don't wonder.
I was being sarcastic.
Oh, I was like, that's never been a wonderment for me. What I wonder about is why they give him the microphone ever.
Okay. Don't need to hear you twice.
Oh, yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Don't lie to me.
Stop.
He's so mean to me today, people.
I will start this recording over.
Without me.
No. All right, match number 4. Raven versus one of the new faces, Julio De Niro, who I found out was actually tag team partners with Easy Money. And his gimmick was he was a gigolo. So what I first thought was, man, it's weird that they brought in recently another guy that had money as one of his names, because De Niro is another, it's like Spanish for money, isn't it?
Yes.
All right. Something like that.
We went through this last time too.
Okay, sometimes I say things for the sake of the audience, right?
Nope, I don't think you do.
So I say things for the sake of the audience, and you act like there's not an audience. What are we recording for?
Magic.
You keep telling yourself that. Right now, it looks like Raven is struggling to keep up with Julio. Even when getting some shots in, the guy is too quick to keep up the assault. Raven does manage to slow things down with heavy strikes and some submission holds. After a ref bump, Styles shows up, and this allows Raven to get the win.
So pretty much
I don't know if it was supposed to be Styles. I don't know if this was supposed to be Styles showing that he's with Sports Entertainment Extreme, and he was just doing it to show that he's part of the team, a team player, or if he's doing it to come out here and be like, oh, by the way, you can't win without me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could be either, really.
And I wish it was a little bit more clear. But maybe it will get cleared up over the next couple weeks. I don't know. I just realized I need to do a Windows update after we're done recording.
You're really hurting me.
Then get her off you. Goldilocks is with Conan. He's brought Juventud Guerrero with him this week. So the other new face that we get to see. Match 5 tonight. It's Juventud Guerrero versus Jerry Lynn. This is easily the best match of the night. Jerry Lynn puts on great matches pretty much every single time he shows up.
Yes, he does.
I can understand exactly why he is your favorite. I also understand why it's frustrating knowing that he never really gets to go to the top of the card in this show.
Okay, why do you gotta do that to me?
Oh no, because he's had one shot at the world title against Truth. But I don't know if he ever does again. And I don't even think he's in TNA that much longer. Unfortunately. It just sucks because he is just like, I know we see him a few more times, but he might switch to being like one of the backstage personnel instead or something like that. I know later on he was supposed to have a match with Rob Van Dam at Hardcore Justice in like 2010, but he ended up getting injured right before that, so Rob Van Dam had to have his match with Sabu instead. So we get robbed of Jerry Lynn even down the line. You know what I mean?
This saddens me.
Anyways, back to the match.
I'm seriously crying.
Back to this good match. I wrote, if I kept track of this match in notes, I would miss half of it. It's pretty much going at that pace and with a lot of back and forth and near falls. It's really good. I say there isn't even like a big like booked finish. It kind of just comes out of nowhere on a reversal into a pin and Lynn wins. He reverses a move into a pin, and it's sold that the surprise gets him the victory there. And I'm fine with that. It's fine. Not every match. A match can just be consistently good and and just end. It can do that. It doesn't have to have a big finish. So this is perfectly fine. And after the match, Conan and Hoovies are like arguing before they go to the back. And I also noted I also wrote down here is like Conan's war against the X Division. His whole shtick here is that he feels that it's a ripoff of Lucha Libre, and he's trying to, shit on it.
Yeah.
Well, his war against the X Division so far has been him failing to beat one man out of the entire X Division. I know you could argue Jerry Lynn's like the representative.
He kind of is.
But at the same time, excuse me. At the same time, it's like you can't beat one guy. Why do you think you're gonna take down this entire division?
Because he's thinking if Jerry Lynn goes down, then the division does? I don't know.
Next thing I wrote down was Goldie with more pointless stuff from Siaki. We see Plum Tree again. I don't know where this is going.
Yeah, he kind of does.
He just shows up, starts asking questions. He starts asking questions. It almost feels like he's out of character though, and it just always cut away. And this. Did that last week too. He just walked up to Russo and started asking questions, and it felt like he was out of character.
It didn't it?
Mm-hmm. By the way, at this point, that means Styles has been aligned with like 3 people, and as far as like as his backer over the course of the past like 3 months.
True.
I don't mind the idea of someone trading up. But usually it takes a little more time than a few weeks.
Yeah.
Because we went from Plumtree, who traded up from Ace Steel to AJ Styles, to AJ Styles trading up from Plumtree to Larry Zbyszko. Even though he had to he actually didn't choose that himself. And now apparently he's trading up from Larry Zbyszko to Sports Entertainment Extreme.
Yeah.
All being chased around by Plumtree, I guess.
Yeah. Why does Plumtree have such a hard-on for him?
I don't know. He could go back to managing Ace Steel. Who I don't know if we ever see again.
Not Bug Eyes.
Yes. Alright, so the other match set up earlier by the Sandman shit. Or not the Raven Styles pissing contest. Sandman versus AJ Styles. Obviously, this is a hardcore match. Because if you try to do any other match with Sandman, you're not going to have a match. Styles jumps Sandman, and then they kind of roll all over each other in the ring, trying to get holds in the ring. It looks really, really silly. Like 2 children play fighting.
Might have been.
I don't know how drunk not Raven, God damn it, Sandman was at this point.
I'm assuming
Oh yeah. Also, I noted he, on his way to the fucking ring, he stops in one of the dancing girls' cages and makes out with her. I'm like, wasn't his whole introduction and thing with Raven at the start of this, and the reason why they don't like each other is because Raven took his girl and then he took his girl back. So he's got a wife, and he's doing this on pay-per-view. That just seems weird.
I'm just saying, if I was his wife, I'd be like, yeah, this is no longer a marriage. We are divorcing.
It like how Sandman acts. How did he get her back?
Magic.
I don't know.
Does he have like a magic
Hey,
thing? I'm not speaking that.
you are.
No, okay.
And we go through this every week. Stop. Just try to speak at a level.
You know that's not.
Oh my god. The problem is that you okay. See, okay. My problem with my wife here is she can't speak loud enough. Usually, for her to pick it up half the time. So I can't put the noise gate on too high, because otherwise you never hear her talk.
And you'll think.
But I can't put the noise. But now that I have the noise gate lower, I can't. She talks so loud sometimes that you can hear her on both my microphone, and I'm like 6 fucking feet away from her.
No, he is not.
Yeah, I am.
No, you were like 5 at
If
best.
we were to lay me between me and you,
It would not.
it'd be my head would be where you are, and my feet would be where I am. That's about 6 feet.
No, we are about 5 feet.
I don't care. The fact that they can hear you on mine is weird.
Actually, you may not even be 5 feet. You may be like 4 feet.
No.
I will get a fucking tape.
I don't care. Regardless, back to the match. Raven ends up coming out, hitting Sandman with a chair, and Styles is able to get the Styles Clash for the win. He does it from the second rope, too, I think. Or, from the corner.
Again.
So, Raven returns the favor, I guess, if you want to call it a favor. The idea is that I guess neither can win without the other. I'm like, instead of doing a triple threat match, they could also turn this into a tag team. But I don't think either are happening.
I don't either.
So this whole thing feels weird.
Feels forced.
Are they going to have a match? Is Raven and Styles going to have a match? If not, then this entire thing's pointless.
No, I don't think they are. I think what they're trying to get at is, I think what they're like ramping up for is Raven and Sandman, or as I call Raven,
Then why have a pissing contest with AJ Styles? Why have this whole thing between him and Styles fighting over the belt that one week? Why have it seem like they're both going after the championship? Why any of this other shit if you're not going to fucking deliver?
I think the belt was
Anything.
The belt may have been something, but then, Raven came in. Or not Raven, sorry.
I hit a button.
Sandman came in, and Kilt wearing belt teeth has a real big hard-on for him now.
Okay, but that...
As for this last pissing
But
contest, I don't know.
it's okay. But this is written. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I keep forgetting that.
Like, from a storytelling perspective, it makes everything with Raven and Styles seem pointless. Outside of, they just really want to fucking butt heads.
Well, how many times have they done something like this? They've done something like this, like, almost every fucking show.
Okay, but usually when people butt heads, it leads to something. So you can argue that the pissing contest today led to them having these 2 matches, but the matches were inconsequential. And unless that's also going to lead to something else that's going on between these two, either a triple threat match, or they become a tag team of some sort, or they're having a match with each other, it's still pointless. The problem is right now, it doesn't look like any of those three are happening.
Who's the writer at this point?
Who's leading? Russo.
There's your answer to everything.
Okay, but even Russo sometimes usually makes more sense than this.
Does he?
Even the things that make no sense, at least it's generally tend to serve a goddamn purpose later down the line. This just makes no sense and is serving no purpose. Okay, anyways, we go from the end of that match to, I think it was the promotion segment, which led into Raven doing a promo where he's setting up for I have it written down as the Clockwork Orange House of Fun match, which is going to be next show with him and Sandman. I wrote down, I imagine it's probably just another hardcore match, or maybe like the match with Orton and Wyatt where they fought each other in a house randomly somewhere. Maybe.
I like how you're saying maybe like I would know.
The problem is I don't know. It's just a random name for a match.
It is.
Match 7, our main event. What a wonderful main event. The Harris Brothers versus Vader and Dusty Rhodes. We start off with Ron and Vader in the ring. Ron tries to attack Vader, and Vader seems to be unfazed by it because he's so massive. That's how I'm saying. So they decide to switch. I don't know why Vader's like, man, you failed to beat me up. Let me put the fucking old guy in the ring.
Yeah.
Anyways, so now we get Heavy D and Dusty Rhodes fighting each other. But because Heavy D basically busted Dusty open immediately, Vader doesn't wait very long to try to stop this. Try to stop this himself. I think he realized his mistake. Siaki was actually out there from the start of the match too, by the way, with Desire. He gets involved at one point. The bell is called, even though he just eats an elbow. By the way, normally this doesn't happen. This doesn't, like, the disqualification doesn't happen when the guy just gets beat up and doesn't actually attack, doesn't actually hit them. But yes, he got beat up by them, and he got the Harris Brothers disqualified because of it. Is that weird?
Yeah.
After this, Desire is left in the ring, and they're on commentary. They've been selling that apparently he trained her. Dusty Rhodes trained her. Which is funny because apparently not very well. She sucks. But then he takes off his belt and spanks her with it after bending her over his knee, which was weird.
I think I missed that part. I feel like I need to rewatch this one.
The end of this is... I did not take detailed notes on the end of this because I was just so done. Nikita Koloff shows up. Dusty decks him. They won by DQ. The next thing is the contract signing time. Jarrett comes out after the Russo and stuff are in the ring, and a video plays of Russo's kids talking about how, like, his obsession is, like, hurting the family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so all this ends up doing is make Russo, like, completely disgusted and hate his own children.
Yeah, and then he was, like, all mad at Sunglasses, and he was like, that's a low blow. And I'm thinking, isn't that exactly what you did? Like, you literally went to his house.
Russo is such a heel that he puts being in charge of this place above his own family at this point in the story. Isn't that weird to do that?
It is.
So the whole thing was just Jarrett playing along just to basically, like, show Russo's true colors, I guess. That's the only way I can interpret this. And stuff happens, And then David Flair and Brian Lawler jump Jarrett.
Yeah, I didn't.
And Eric Watts is there too.
Yeah, like it was such a cluster.
And then the show ends.
Yeah. So feast or fired, honey.
That's really hard because with the exception of two matches, the matches were fine. Nothing spectacular, but they were fine. But the rest of the show was stupid. So I guess a fired.
I really was not paying attention during this show at all.
Yeah, well,
Which is,
I can't blame you.
I got so bored. I'm like, okay. Like, I'm getting tired of the Cage Girls.
Yeah, I'd like that to go away at some point.
One of the Cage Girls were wearing like a freaking bikini, and I'm like, why would you wear that?
I kept laughing because I realized that even when they're not on them whatsoever, they're still dancing, and I'm like, what's the point?
Just in case. You never know.
Yeah, I figured it's something you can cut away to if you've got nothing else to show. But like WWE uses fans for that.
Apparently,
even at this point in time.
Apparently TNA doesn't have fans.
There are people there.
I know. They pay them to be there.
Yeah, actually, that's funny because almost
God.
every show taped in the Impact Zone later are just park goers at Universal Orlando, Florida. So it's free.
Oh, wow.
And there are just some days that they have a hard time even getting people in when it's free.
Oh, that is so sad.
Which it sucks too because it's during like it's like during some of my favorite times in TNA where it's really stupid but in an extremely entertaining way.
Too bad we didn't go at that point.
Yeah, this is stupid in a it hurts sort of way.
Yeah, true. But I'm going to go with fired as well because like I could barely pay attention.
Yeah, I just said I can't blame you on.
I have a short attention span to begin with.
All right. Well, hopefully I can stop being lazy and I can start getting some decent night's sleep here soon and I can get on top of the other content I want to work on and maybe we can get on top of this a little more frequently with our son visiting his grandparents.
Sorry, this is my fault that we're at least this far behind at this point.
Anyways, either way, thank you for listening. Look out for more content. Hopefully we'll have another one up next week. Anyways, have a wonderful day and go on wrestling.
Have a good night.